Hi there, friends. Dave Paulides, Canadian Missing Project, copyrighted edition for our video channel. We're here with the executive producer, Huck, and she is snoozing on the job, demanding higher pay, more kibble. It goes on and on. It's amazing. But she's about ready to take her afternoon nap, so I'm not going to bug her too much. She's going to hang out here with me, and as I do this missing person segment, so away we go. Yes, fall has arrived, definitely, in northwest Montana. There's no doubt about it. This morning I woke up, it was 28 degrees. Today was the first day on the weather report that they said it might snow, but it didn't. So, at least so far, got a little ways to go. Today's segment hit me right in the heart. Sometimes I think I've gone through these phases of life for a reason. And I say that because this segment today has so many parallels to my son Ben. It was shocking to me. I stopped a couple times because it bothered me so much. Now, if you guys out there don't know much about Ben, I'm not going to go into a lot of details because I have in the past, but to suffice it to say that Ben was an outstanding person. He was the smartest person I knew, and I'm being serious. He put his mind to it. He got a Division I scholarship to play hockey for Miami, Ohio, the #1 team in the nation at that point. This was Parents' Day, and we got to go on the ice and take pictures with our kids. And then this is the class that Ben graduated with. There's Ben. He went to the NHL. Most of them went to play professional hockey. Outstanding group of young men. Outstanding group of young men. And a little close up. And Ben decided he got an invite every year to play at summer camp with the San Jose Sharks. And at the end he said, "Dad, I don't want to play hockey anymore. I want to go to film school." And he applied and he got into USC Film School. And during that time that he was waiting for his class to start, that's when we made our first movie, Missing 411. It was all his idea. And it took us about 6 months to film it and do it. And you can watch it for free right now on Tubi. Just go to Tubi online. It's free. Anybody can watch Missing 411. Ben was the director. And it was during that time at USC that things started to he started to get hiccups in his life. And I'll talk about that a little later. But that's kind of a short segment on Ben's life. I don't want to talk about it right now, but I'll get into it more later. When I started to research the story I'm going to tell you about, it's a missing person case. I really don't know if it fits all of the criteria that we have for 411, but I didn't care. See, I didn't care. This is a story we need to talk about. Too many times, mental health gets pushed aside. We don't have resources for it. We don't even have enough psychiatrists But let me get to the story. The man's name was Tyler Weathersby. And Tyler went missing September 4th, 2024. 7:45 a.m. Tyler was a brilliant young man. Brilliant. I think Huck... There we go. I kind of clipped the cords there, but now we're back. Tyler lived in northwest Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And SMART doesn't kind of cover Tyler, but I'm going to get into it. This is his driver's license photo on one end and a photo for a company he owned called Wake. And it was a marketing, business consulting. He was smart. Good businessman. Many more sides to the story of Tyler we're going to get into. He came from Chicago. He was one of 4 kids. And he and his brother Greg were super close. And they danced together. And they left Chicago because they wanted to make a run at life in LA. And as teenagers, they got signed by an LA talent agency as dancers. At the same time, Tyler started a brand company called Millions Limited. Well, the dance group he was in toured 3 times. Greg said Tyler was a brilliant marketing guy. He was introverted when he was younger, but as he got older, he got more outgoing. Well, the brothers had success in LA. And in the middle of this, Tyler told Greg he was looking for more in life. And he wanted to leave. Greg said that in mid-2010, Tyler moved to South Dakota and started a new business centered on self-love and community. Tyler was into clean eating and intermittent fasting. And one thing he did all the time is he would walk. And he did it in an effort to keep his mind healthy. Janine was Greg and Tyler's mom. She said Tyler was the one child of all of hers that always said he loved her. She said he was super highly creative. Greg said Tyler shot all the music videos. Greg said he and Tyler were always together, always buddies. So if you stop there for a second, I think, as I was going through this, when Ben was at USC Film School, part of what they had to do was they had to make commercials. And the classes were given a title and a brand, and they had to work together to make something. And the commercials Ben made were absolutely, they blew my mind. I didn't even think he could do that. It was, and he met people along the way. He met a girl, and that girl probably ended up saving Ben's life. But when Tyler's family was talking about him being creative, Ben was super creative too. He was caring. Well, Tyler had a friend when he was in South Dakota. And this friend of his was going through a major life ordeal. And Tyler wrote her, she let it go, she printed it, a super sensitive and compassionate message of support and friendship. It wasn't something that was a come on. It wasn't something that would imply I want to date you. It was just, I'm here. You've gone through a lot. Here's what you need to focus on in your future, blah, blah, blah. It was just very well done, Tyler. Very well done. Well, that did lead to a friendship, partnership. And in 2021, Mona Lisa, that was this girl's name, lady's name, and Tyler got married. Now, Mona Lisa had 2 kids from a prior marriage, and her husband wasn't alive. And Tyler adopted the 2 kids. She said that they never argued. And he was extremely caring and sensitive. And then she said something that blew me away. She said that Tyler struggled with his mental health and depression. And he took long daily walks and meditated to keep his mind clear. Whew. Wow. My mind stopped right then. So when Ben was at USC, he had an incident happen, and his girlfriend called me. She said, Dave, you need to come down here. I was living in Colorado at the time. Got on the first flight I could. Within hours, I was in LA when I was driving to USC. Then it started to show signs of mental health issues. I called his mom. We were divorced for many years by then. And I told her, you need to get all your resources together, and we need to find a psychiatrist post-haste. I know it takes sometimes months, but we need to pull all of our resources and get him in as soon as we can. And we got lucky. Between hockey contacts and friendships and other doctors, we got into one of the best psychiatrists. And we got an appointment. And because of privacy concerns, it doesn't matter if your child's 12 or they're 20. You as a parent can't even sit down anymore in their presence unless they specifically approve and can listen. Well, we asked Ben, we said, we're all in this together. I don't care. I don't care what happens. I'm in. I remember Ben saying to us, I know you guys love me, and I know we're in this together, so I want you there with me. So Ben first went through a private consultation with the psychiatrist. It lasted a couple hours. And then he asked Ben, can I bring in your parents? And Ben said, yeah. In a day I'll never forget, the psychiatrist laid it out. The worst news a parent could ever have. I'm serious. He said, your son is bipolar. And bipolar people have the highest probability of suicide. They are all high intellects. And they will find a way to take their lives. They will. And in between now and then, and there's an overwhelming likelihood that at some point Ben may take his life. He may disappear. I said, disappeared. One night, Ben's going to get up in the middle of the night and take a walk, and he may not come back. And he said, bipolar people, their mind races. While our mind is going 55 miles an hour, their mind is going 120, 200 miles an hour. And they can't slow it down. They can't sleep. It's always racing. And I said, well, what should we do? He said, well, you should get Ben to get on the meds that I'm going to prescribe. And then you need to stay with them until they really kick in. I said, how long is that? And he said, 3 or 4 months. I said, okay, we're doing it. I don't care. I'll drop everything in my life. So Ben was living in an apartment complex off campus at USC. For you guys who don't know, the neighborhood is the worst neighborhood in the world. Slums, ghetto of LA. Horrible. That's where everyone from USC lives, unless you live on the dorm on campus. So I told my ex that I'd take the first 10 days and she could take the next, and we'd just go like that. And I sat Ben down in the apartment, and I said, son, I held his hand. I looked him in the eye. I said, there's nothing in this world more important to me than keeping you alive and keeping you sane and doing everything I can to help you. Everything. In return, I just ask for one thing. If you step out that door, you have suicidal thoughts, you come get me. Just one thing, just that. He hugged me and he said, yep, Dad, I'll do it. So there must have been 5 or 6 times during those first 10 days, at 3 or 4 in the morning, he'd wake me up and said, Dad, I need to walk. And damn, I got up and we walked. We walked through the worst neighborhoods of LA. The worst. I prayed before I left. I prayed after we got back. God protected us. The psychiatrist told me, he said, Mr. Paulides, Mrs. Paulides, the streets of LA are filled with people that are bipolar, and their parents are all looking for them. You can't do too much to protect Ben. As a parent, what wouldn't you do? So let's get back to Tyler. Tyler's mom, Janine, planned to visit to South Dakota to see their new grandbaby, which was born the month prior. So Mona Lisa and Tyler got married in 2021, and they had a baby in 2024. Mona Lisa said that everything went great on Janine's visit until September 3rd. Janine said she'd never had an argument with Tyler. Never even had words with him. With other kids, yes, not with him. But on 9/3, Janine and Tyler got into a really bad argument. Tyler got her a room at the airport that night, drove her to the airport, dropped her off at the hotel, turned around and left, and immediately called his brother Greg. Greg said it was Tyler, but it didn't sound like Tyler. He talked in circles. He was really upset. Couldn't really explain what just happened. Mona Lisa said that Tyler's behavior that night was extremely odd and that the couple barely slept. Stop there for a second. Tyler had put his mom on a pedestal his whole life. And then something happened. He couldn't control his behavior. And he lashed out and he had an argument with her. And that crushed his internal self. The psychiatrist told us that you will see flashes from Ben that you don't even recognize as Ben. And it can't be controlled unless he takes these meds. He won't be able to control it. Imagine that. Imagine you're a parent, you get told this. And I'm not a doctor. I don't know if his relative said he had mental illness. I'm just telling you the parallels with my son. I don't know what Tyler was diagnosed with or if he was diagnosed with anything, but I could sure see parallels here. But I'm not diagnosing. I'm not a doctor. So the couple wakes up on September 4th. Tyler gets up early and he's already out the door for his morning walk. He comes back and Mona Lisa is getting the kids ready for school, feeding them. Comes to the point where they get the kids and Tyler helps getting them in the car. Everyone said, "Hey, I love you too, you'd be safe." Mona Lisa says it's just like a typical morning. And as she's backing out of the driveway, Tyler takes off for his second walk. And she sees him walking down the street. Unusual, she said. Mona Lisa gets home from dropping the kids off, and Tyler's gone. She said initially she wasn't too worried about that. But at 10:30, she started to get really nervous, she said. She went to a location where Tyler likes to go and meditate. And she said, when I got there and he wasn't there, I got super nervous. She came home and she called her family and friends, looking for direction on what to do, where else they might look. And at 4:30 that night, she calls the Sioux Falls Police Department and reports Tyler's missing. Tyler was left wearing a t-shirt, black shorts, tennis shoes. He might have had a couple days' growth of a beard. The next morning, September 5th, Mona Lisa notifies Tyler's brother Greg and his mom Janine. Police were already on the scene, searching the surrounding neighborhoods with drones, canines, ground searchers. And then they went door to door in all the surrounding neighborhood. And they were looking for videos, like doorbell videos, to see if anything happened along that route to Tyler. Well, they did find a few. And what it showed was Tyler casually walking down the sidewalk, just like he always did. Nobody else was with him. Now the key point here is Tyler left behind his keys, his phone, his wallet, his cash. He had nothing on him. Let's think about that for a second. When's the last time you left your house like that? With nothing? The family hires a private investigator. The police had already searched for days. They were coming up with nothing. This got major press in Sioux Falls and the surrounding states. So the PI decides that he's going to distribute flyers throughout the states around South Dakota. He reviewed the police report. And then they're going to distribute these flyers at truck stops, bus stops, homeless camps, churches. Everywhere Tyler might look for assistance. Now, Tyler and Mona Lisa were successful. They owned a PR marketing business called Wake. He just walked away from this. Now, this is essentially the city of Sioux Falls. Their home was at the far northwest corner of the city, backed up to a lot of open acreage, farmland. And he was last seen walking on this yellow path towards the interstate. This is the Sioux Falls Police Department flyer for Tyler Weathersby. Janine was interviewed, and she said she can feel her children. She's always had that ability. She says she doesn't feel Tyler any longer. Mona Lisa, on the other hand, says that she believes Tyler is alive and would not kill himself. Well, Tyler has a lot of contacts. Chicago, LA, South Dakota. And if you're a friend or family member of Tyler's, if Sioux Falls Police hasn't done this, you get on this right now. You tell Sioux Falls Police Department that you want Tyler's name and his DNA entered into NAMS, N-A-M-U-S. N-A-M-U-S. It's the United States point for all missing person DNA. So let me summarize what Tyler is. Very smart man. Not moderate, super smart. Introspective, caring, mentally challenged. He got into an argument with the one person he had never done that to before. My own personal observation, I think that broke him. And he knew in his own mind he couldn't recover from that, even though obviously his mom would always forgive him. He probably thought he can't recover from that. He embarrassed himself. Mom said that they had never had words before. I don't know if Tyler is alive or not. I have a lot of respect for mother's feelings. But I do want you, wherever you're at, take a look at that face. Take a good hard look at it. Imagine that with a beard. He's about 6 foot, 160 pounds. If you see him, don't say anything. Call the local police and say he's a missing person from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Tyler Weathersby. I got to tell you, folks, mental illness is horrific. We're only getting more and more and more of it with fewer and fewer resources, and it really pisses me off. Our government wastes so much money on other things that we need to invest more money in helping ourselves. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for being here. Please spread this video long and far. Again, our website. I'm going to put the link to every video I've ever made right here on the first comment. So you will never lose me. And then bookmark that. Paulides out.